Well, hello. Look at that stinger. Hi, Passion.
Hello.
Hello, chat. How's everyone doing today? Welcome. You all know me. You all know Passion. You all know Bjork. Oh, Passion. It really looks like we're in the same room together.
Yes, truly,
I'm
with
touching your.
pebbles behind us.
Look, I'm touching your chair, Passion. Is that scary to you? Look at this. This is kind of scary.
Wait, oh, I was going the wrong
I can
way.
kind of really can sneak up behind you. So I can really. Can we shake
Why am I
hands?
struggling so
Can we
much?
shake hands?
Look how pasty my hand looks compared to yours. I'm disgusted.
We have. This is why you should. This is. Well, this is the first English joke of the day. Sorry, England. Sorry for being from England, Passion. Ha 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 ha. Just
Thank
kidding.
you.
Here's the famous grouse. I'm gonna drink it. Are you also gonna drink the famous grouse?
I've just poured myself a little.
Thank you to the famous grouse for sponsoring the stream. This is a real honor for us to have gotten the key from you for the famous grouse put Godelic hour. What's the game called that we're playing
Stupid
today?
grouse hour?
The grouse hour.
Yeah,
I feel
let's roll with that.
look, if I get close, this is like really frightening.
Thank you. My euphoria is through the roof right now. Thank you so much.
Imagine if I was.
Are you on this side? Yeah, you are. Okay, cool.
Imagine if that was the size of us as people. I was like a big, tall, big. Okay, we're not actually in the same room. This is a trick of the eye. Passion, would you like to introduce yourself to anyone who doesn't know who you are?
Yes, I shall. Hello. I am. Should I do the rage stick that we do?
Yeah. Do the
Um,
shtick.
Thank you so much, Miles, for the raid. If anybody's coming in for the first time, I'm Passionate Voice known as Passion's Planet, a trans Y2K variety streamer here on Twitch. We play a lot of Barbie, a lot of Bratz, and a lot of anything that comes from the GameCube PS2 area. We era. God, I take one fucking sip and it's hit me. Era. We typically play anything that's very retro. Um, yeah.
And my pitch is Passion is one of my favorite streamers, and she is somebody who I have looked up to tremendously since she explained to me how to not massively fumble the bag early in my Twitch journey, and is perpetually saving my ass and also inspiring me aesthetically and in many ways as a streamer who I also appreciate. So thank you. And this is Passion's merch. Shirt of the day is Passion's merch. You can buy Passion's merch. You too can own a t-shirt just like this one if you go to fourthwall.com/passionsplanet or something like that, right?
Do you know what would be sexy, Full? If you had a basket so that people can order both mine and Miles's merch in one order.
That would be good. That would be really good.
That's not the one, that's my admin link.
Oops.
It's not gonna lock them in, don't worry.
Okay. And
Everyone's
you too.
like, I need the money.
And you too can own a t-shirt just like this one if you go to passionsplanet-shop.fourthwall.com. Order today for a limited time. Passion will send you a paper bag with fish and chips inside of it.
What and chips?
It's always in a newspaper, isn't it? Instead of a plate.
Okay, let's promise something.
Yeah.
If you order from the merch store tonight, I will give you a personalized thank you video.
Wow. Okay.
There you go.
That's great.
You can do that.
That's a good offer.
So,
You can do that. I haven't done that, have I?
you don't have to.
I haven't done that.
Unless.
And it's Zach in the chat. Hello, Zach. Yes, Zach, Zachy. You click that link that's pinned to the top of the chat.
Admin one again. Don't post the admin one. Don't post the admin one. There we go.
And you can buy this fantastic merch. You can also get this planet hat. This is one of my favorite dad hats that I had. This is a fantastic hat, Passion. It really is good. And it goes with everything. It's a great logo.
I feel like I need to
Do
throw the Discord on this monitor, so I'm looking forward
right,
instead of, like,
right.
looking weird
Yeah,
over
yeah.
here.
We need to do we need to play games or can we just keep plugging your merch?
We can keep plugging for a moment.
Okay, so what else? You know what actually happened, Passion? My mug got smashed by my cats. My Passion mug. I'm very
Okay.
upset. Arthur knocked
Which
it off
cat,
the
though?
table. Arthur.
Okay. Okay.
It's of course it's him. He's a little bastard.
Well, it's a good thing that hopefully in let's say, like, a month or 2, I should have some new merch out.
Ooh.
So,
Ooh.
perfect time to replace your smashed
That's
mugs.
true. I probably will also um
Joint drop.
yes. I will also probably yeah, let's do a joint drop. I'll also probably buy like all the old merch again anyway. Um
We should do a joint sale code.
Joint sale code.
Like,
That's a good
yeah,
idea.
like, if you know sort of
Yeah,
situation.
yeah, 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 yeah. Absolutely. Speaking of Pash, should I do you want me to I this isn't the color correct is wrong. Do you want me to fix that? I made a joke about you being
No, I
English,
think
but I
no,
think the
I
color
think I
correct
can
is
fix it.
wrong. Okay.
It is.
And I just yeah, it's only by comparison because of the
Stop.
temperature of our lights. I didn't want you to
No,
just
the
eat
real
that.
jump scare.
What's
Let's do
that?
the real jump scare
What's
for
that gonna
everyone.
be?
It being off.
Oh wow. Just for
Let
me,
me
just
see what
booing Arthur because he smashed it. Yeah, but Arthur deserves it
Ooh.
sometimes. Cats are great, but they are also. Oh wow, you look so warm, Passion. Oh, that was such a nice.
Sorry, my
No, that
fire
was
turned on
very
on me.
nice. That was very. I loved. It was very like the beginning of people learning that they can use film to take photographs again. You know, like oh,
I'm,
like
like,
lens
looking at
flare,
the preview.
lomography,
You are
super
quite yellow,
saturated.
though.
Am I? Is this what's
Yeah.
happening? Is it my color correct? I'm the problem. Wait, that was nice, Passion. That was like, wait, can you go back and then you're like the memory of my lover? Yeah, that's great. Look at that.
Wait, no, no.
It's
Here you go.
like, I'm just like, thank you, Snail Lady. Snail Lady, thank you for the she lived, she served, cunt, she died. I should probably make that a sound alert. Is that right? I feel like I need to make a sound alert of she lived, she served, cunt, she died. I mean, how
Is there a soundbite for that?
there's a, yeah, well, I just remember there's a good like the TikTok robot saying it that it would make me. She
Oh.
lived. She served cunt. She died.
Like yeah, the one that's got a little bit of, like, hunty, like
Yeah,
yeah,
it was. I
I
remember
know
that
her.
being very
I
good.
know her.
Yeah, we all know her. Um, all right.
I'm honestly, I'm okay with this color correction.
Okay,
If,
cool. Yeah, I
the
mean,
true planets know this is my color correction. You're the
okay,
problem, not
I
me.
am the problem, I guess. Okay, I can try to adjust myself maybe. When I do that, I'll just adjust
Ooh,
myself. Oh, what did I do?
I'm in witness protection.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. It's beautiful though. Okay, why don't I
It's like, who's that Pokemon if it served cunt?
why can I not adjust the hue here? That's a problem. Okay, well, should we just live with it?
We can live with it.
Okay.
What's this one? Ooh,
Wow. Very artistic.
yeah.
Chat, we haven't configured this perfectly before we started. We didn't I got this new the background. I got the new stinger. I got to check out this stinger while we go over to the game. Check this out. Ready for this? Look at that. Go for it. Look at that stinger.
Ta-da! You do not see
What do you think of
anything.
that stinger, huh? What do you like
Hold on,
that?
I'm just gonna, like,
Did
okay, I
that
think we're good.
buzz buzz? Well, buzz buzz. What about the stinger? What about this
I
border
look
around the thing? Somebody went on
I look like a
Etsy.
1975 album cover when I'm in black and white. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Is that's a
Just
good thing?
less kissing minors, though.
Less kissing minors. I don't know. No comment. I don't know. I don't know her. Oh,
They're cute.
Enix.
I used to really love them, but
Enix. So yeah, Zaki. This is what Square Enix was before
they merged.
they merged,
Before a Square and an Enix meet, and they merge.
and then this is what
Form Square
happens
Enix.
when
Yeah,
when a Square and an Enix love each other very much.
exactly.
Let me just put my sound alerts above that. Okay.
How are the audio levels with me and Miles, by the way? Are we about the same-ish?
Here, give me a
See, I
check.
know these
Check.
questions well. Mic
check.
check 1, 2, 3.
Check.
Mic check 1, 2, 3.
Check.
Hush.
Hush.
Okay, cool.
Good.
And then when it comes to the game coming in, if anybody wants to critique and say maybe lower it, feel free to.
Okay, let's
Go ahead.
game. Let's game. And yeah, so the plan today is this is a tipsy stream. If you were here for Mario Party, you know more or less what to expect. Please forgive me. This time I'm going to ask you to not let me show my passport on stream. Other mods, Passion is busy gaming and also drinking, so you're going to need to
Supervision of me.
You're going to have to carry a lot of the load for supervision. But I think we'll be all right. And after we play this game, which I don't know what this is, but I'm really excited. Passion has curated this for me, so
yeah. Shout out to Optimus, Siobhan. Thank you for suggesting this in my Discord like a month or 2 ago. I immediately told Miles about it. I said, "Hey, next time we
I
do
love
like
you
a
all.
collab
You're
thing, let's play
beautiful,
this."
and never forget
So
that
thank you for
everyone
the
is a
suggestion. I
princess.
don't know much about this. I've only seen one video about it.
Thank you so much for the Paris.
Thank you.
That is my favorite sound alert. I'm very happy that has blessed us.
And also, unfortunately, I don't hear any of the sound alerts or anything that happens.
No,
So
shit.
it's okay.
Is there a way to do that I'm just not privy to?
Not simple, no.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll figure that out next time. When I get my new sound mixer, I think that'll help.
Let's get into this, shall we?
Yeah, absolutely.
And go from there.
Please.
Hopefully,
I should turn off the music, huh? I'll turn off the music.
Yeah.
And the game's a little bit cropped. I hope you don't miss anything too badly.
I think most of it will be in the center.
Okay,
don't
cool.
worry.
Oops, but it is also cropped improperly, it seems. Oh. Everyone. Okay, hold on. Oops.
Did you want me to pause it?
No, this is great. I just need to move this over. Oh, hey, it's the Cuties. That's their name. That's canon. My Japanese isn't great, but I'm trying to catch what I can here. Let's fucking go. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just trying to fix the crop here, everybody. Let's go, Teletubbies. Okay, fuck yeah. Okay.
Did you say that, or did someone in the chat?
Someone in chat said Teletubbies, but I'm with it. Game's a little loud? Okay, here we go. Turning it down, thank you very much.
Even louder. Even louder.
Louder. Hell yeah. Okay, hold on. Wait, I am not quite taking this in as much as I should be, and I feel bad. Okay,
we'll have enough time.
No, I cropped
This is just the intro video.
Okay, cool.
And for the people confused, all shall be explained somewhat.
All right, Super Galdelic Hour. Here we go.
So emotional.
Yeah. Oh wow, I can see that Orange is gonna be a big hit already.
Orange?
Is that orange or yellow? What's that color, this one?
I'd say yeah. Oh, we're gonna repeat.
Is this is that yellow or orange?
I'd say yellow.
Okay, well yellow is obviously gonna have a lot of fans in this chat. I know that.
So this is a very bright game. So this is a
what can you tell us?
Japan-only
Okay.
Yasu game. I know very little about this other than these are animals that were turned into girls. And
Okay.
some sort of experiment happened and now they're partaking in mini games against each other. Tits. That's pretty much it.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
what I gathered from the intro is that their official title is they are the cuties.
Yes.
Okay, I was not paying that much attention, but I did understand the Maiwa cuties. So that's what I gathered.
So this is the main mode.
That's my
This is the one I think we have to
Japanese.
play for 2-player? Oh, and because it's a Japanese game, Miles,
Yeah,
X is circle, circle is X.
great
So
start.
when you're on the menu, yeah.
Okay, great start.
Versus man or versus com?
Ooh, versus man.
This makes you question your identity.
Yeah.
For a moment.
Oh my god. Okay, who is your favorite cutie so far? Oh, Neko-chan. I think I think I probably got to be Kama.
Is it Kama?
No, it's not. It's definitely Kuma. But you know, for the sake of the chat, I feel like I do like Toko. Toko's got. They all have something good going on. Neko, I'm afraid of getting a little too lolly there. Looks very young.
I like Toko.
Toko is cute as hell.
Toko Kuma for me. Someone's got to be Kuma.
I
If
get.
it's not me,
Okay,
it's
I'll
you.
be Kuma.
So,
Okay, I'll be Kuma.
okay, Kuma.
Okay, Kuma-chan, let's go! Oh, pie, ga arimasu yo ne! Alright. Oh, I pressed the wrong button, didn't I? Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, did I?
No, you did.
I did?
No, wait.
No.
Yeah, you did.
I did? Oh, no. I'm sorry. Okay.
Sarko.
Oops, so I gotta press B? No, I gotta press X.
Oh.
So I pressed A there.
Oh, I see what you mean, because you're on... I mean, we're authentically playing
Got
this
it.
in the same group.
Got it.
so
Okay. I'm Kuma.
You got it?
Do we freeze?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just... Yeah, bit of foreplay.
Gameplay frequency. Nani?
Do 5?
I don't know. Sure, 5. I don't know what that
I
means.
don't know what this means.
I don't know what that means. Don't know at all what that means.
Oh, and then we pick what game mode we want to do. Should we just go in order?
Yeah, let's try hip sumo wrestling first. That's definitely a good choice. Who's winning the poll right now? Okay, so what is going on is not in the lead. Green is very successful. Interesting. I thought everyone was gonna be cuckoo for Kuma.
Kuma.
What do I do? Okay, so it's just the left and right situation, it seems. Okay, gotta go play. I'm gonna vote for Kuma myself.
Okay, so we just smack our asses against each other.
I think this is a bit of an ass smacker. This is gonna be a huge hit. Especially because of all the
I love
opie
that
that
woman
there
in the
are.
background.
Oh, wait, they're great. Toko is cute. Okay. Kuma is... okay, Kuma. Kuma's gonna win this one for sure.
Ooh.
Oh, shit. I just got wrecked. Oh my god.
Why are you just holding it out at me?
I'm not, it's not letting me do anything else.
You gotta go back and forth with it.
It's not letting me do anything else.
It's not?
I'm just sticking it out. I'm really just tossing it out there. I mean, this is working.
I'm only gently smacking.
I don't know. Am I in the game?
You should be.
Thank you for that.
I'm sorry, Mars.
Wait. Okay, this game is amazing. This is a great game.
Oh.
Oh my god. Who went in first? Okay. It's the left stick, right? I don't feel like I'm like... I don't feel like I'm controlling it. I truly don't know what's happening.
Oh.
Kuma! Oh, Toko's the winner. We all know that Kuma's the real winner, though.
Okay, but this is... Here comes the real game. So, the one thing I do know about this game is that when you complete it, this says replay. And you think, replay? I don't want to play it again. We just completed that one.
Oh, no, but you need the replay.
That's what you think.
Yeah, you need the replay. Yeah, you need the replay. Great job, Kuma. Chat,
great shot.
How did you pick green over Kuma? Oh, that's great. That's really good.
Let's go replay.
No, Zai, this is a game. This is a responsible game for children. All right, this is a party games for the PlayStation 2. There's nothing sexual about this.
This is when you thought your controller was broken. I remember that one.
Yeah, my controller was broken. I promise, but maybe it was doing. Maybe my controller was perfect. If we're looking at it again. Snail Lady, is there anyone in here who this is your first stream? If so, we gotta introduce you to Cam. Benefit, who codes this? Who runs this through Q&A testing? A lot of serious businessmen. Very serious salarymen all got together at the office and they said, maybe we could have a few more replays.
Now we need to test if your controller's working.
Yeah, I don't understand what was happening there.
Oh, there we are.
Toko, oh, what are you doing with your hand there, Toko? Look at that. Toko's giving the honk. Look at that.
No, I'm pushing you out of the way.
Oh.
Yeah, we're silly friends.
Oh, we're just silly friends. At the end of the day, should I be able to change this right now?
Sure.
Oh, you know what? I think I know what happened. I think I clicked the chat and I lost control. Should we try that game again or should we do another one?
We'll do another one. We can go back to that.
Okay. I'll let you choose because you won.
Okay. Ooh.
And let me just quickly say thank you to Johnny for the gift sub to Ash. Thank you so much and welcome in, Ash. I hope that you have a good time here. This is a very special Tipsy stream today where we're playing this thirsty game. Eli Cosplays, thank you for the sub. Thirsty? This is a game not thirsty? This is wholesome. You don't think this was designed with thirst in mind?
Yeah, thanks. We'll get into this.
Okay. Thank you also to Eli Cosplays for the sub. Welcome in. Big Bug Boy, thank you for the resub. Les T, thank you for the resub. Caitlin's GF, Loveland Evie, thank you both for the gift subs. And Rachel, thank you for being here. It's lovely to have you in today. And thank you for that resub. All right, let's play this next game. We are Benefic. Thank you so much, Caroline. Oh my gosh, thank you for the 5 gift subs, and thank you for joining us. If you are new here or if you're in Lurk, please say thank you to Benefic and come stay a while. And yes, everyone get something to change your perspective right now. I don't think you can
in life.
Everyone needs some kind of perspective enhancer for the rest of the stream, please. Thank you for joining us. Okay, what are we doing? Whack-a-mole?
Yes.
Okay.
I was gonna throw on a glove. I can wait.
No, you can throw on a glove. Throw on a glove.
Sorry, we're back in Moles now.
Okay, we're back in Moles. Okay.
For full transparency, we don't know the controls of this game.
Yeah, we've never played this. I have no idea. I love how delight the aesthetic is.
Oh,
it's so.
Miles, I'm telling you,
look at
if you eat this up, you will love Space Channel 5.
Space Channel 5?
Oh shit! Oh, that's no. Okay, so it's just diagonal, and then like what you use for circle. Oh,
Did I pause that by accident?
No, that was the game. Okay, pretty simple.
I love this track. Oh, bad.
Yeah, it's got to be the brown one with glasses.
You gotta hit them all. You can't hit something that's not them all.
Would it look like the Mo? It was like a green Mo. The Mo's kind of... Wait a minute. It's given like Yassified Diglett.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, neither. Good job.
Ooh, what was that? That was like a chicken. Oh, I hit the chicken.
Don't hit the chicken. Oh.
I just wanted to know what would happen.
The chicken's an imposter. Oh, that... I don't like that sound.
Yeah, I'm about to die. Oh. Shit.
Miss. Oh. Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay, Kuma.
You
Here we go, Kuma. Oh. Is that my fault?
There we go. It's a little bit of suspense.
So every time I press circle, it is pausing the game.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Hold on. Go to the just chatting real quick.
Okie dokie. 1 second.
See anything behind the curtain?
There's nothing. No, there's nothing happening behind the curtain. Oh wait. Oh, it's now. It's
No.
okay.
No. That was me.
Okay.
Nothing's happening behind the curtain.
So also, just so you know, a little piece of fun fact information here is, would anyone like to guess what Kuma means in Japanese? Does anyone know? It's bear. You're right. Everyone knows it's bear. That's right, because... What's that?
Is that why Kuma in Tekken's called Kuma? Like the bear?
Yeah, totally.
Oh.
It just means bear.
I thought it was just the bear's name.
It's just bear.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Is that disappointing?
Not disappointing. I just thought he was called Kuma.
If you think about it, every bear's name really is bear. Like, there's not a lot of bears with...
Shout out to the bears in the Smile Scuff Free community.
Big shout out. Can we get some bears in the chat?
I think I fixed it.
Okay, let's try it again.
See how this goes.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Okay. I missed.
You missed.
Well, that's your fault.
There we go.
Gaming.
Why are you blaming me immediately?
Thank you for fixing it, Passion. I love you and I appreciate you. Okay, let's game. Man, this is distracting. I shouldn't have picked Kuma. What was bad about that? Oh, it was good? Whoa. Love Kuma. Kuma is slowly taking the place of the phone from Champed Up in terms of my favorite.
I just noticed the physics. Oh, sorry, I don't want to distract you.
Yeah, no, you're doing a great job of distracting me.
She has a stain in the middle of her like top half. I don't know if you can see that. It's like she spilled something.
Don't distract me. Don't make me look at that. I'm gonna get these moles. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna be the best mole smacker this side of the Mississippi. Okay, here we go. Well, they really bounce up and down after you smack them all, huh? Oh, gee. If you want to donate to the eye tracker that's on my throne. Oh, God. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh.
Kuma. Kuma.
I love the reaction cam in the corner.
Wait, what's she doing there with that? Did you see that? Thank you, Mara.
Replay.
Yes, we're pushing the throne. Here we go. Oh wow.
Wow, look at me go.
Only thing is, I don't know what a toko is. Is that a kind of animal? Does anyone know what a toko is?
Is it really just like the full thing from alternate angles?
I think it's just zooming in on the butt while you play the game and on the tits.
Okay. What is this? I press circle.
Wow.
Oh. See, what does that say?
Called. It's stylized, so it's kind of hard. Oh, cheat codes. It's saying something about cheat codes.
Oh.
I think. Called. Wait, I can't. It was so fast.
Okay, we'll just continue on.
It's all, yeah, it's all, interesting, yeah. Toko is just the space. That's strange. Oh, did the game break?
Yeah.
Wait, how do you go back?
Okay, I guess we'll move on.
Alright, rope jumping.
So this one we just press circle for.
Chat wants to see Coco next. We're gonna have to get Coco in here.
Okay, we'll do the other two girls.
Yeah. Toko's so kawaii. Look how cute this Toko is.
Ooh, wait, this is harder than what it looks like. I like these little things swinging it though.
Yeah, what are they?
It's like very Space Channel 5
Coming out the nose.
Calamari.
It looks like a
Meet Teletubbies. A little bit of booba.
A little bit of booba. The colors are great. The aesthetic, this whole thing is fantastic. I love this.
Ooh, fuck.
Okay.
Oh, that was nasty.
That's
They tricked
okay,
me.
janai. Okay, janai.
They know what they were doing then. Okay. Just give it a little shimmy.
Kuma, oh my god, Kuma. Okay,
like,
this is getting, it's too distracting.
When you walk in.
This is too distracting. I shouldn't have done this one with Kuma. This is, oh my god, the zoom in. Oh my god. Oh, I've unlocked the...
How?
I've really unlocked something extra here.
Are you pressing upper buttons?
No, I'm just nailing the timing.
Oh, fuck you.
But
And you're doing this.
Oh, I got out. Oh. Oops.
GG on that though, because he's doing it with a slight delay. Like it's milliseconds, but it's still...
But I love the zoom ins on the excellent jumps. Wow. Okay, we gotta play a different game.
Oh.
Oh no, round 2. Okay.
How did you nail it?
Yeah, you gotta go like a little later than you expect.
Oh, I see.
Hey. Glad everyone's enjoying this game with the cuties. Everyone's mesmerized by the cuties and the jiggle physics. Shout out to all the WLWs in the chat. We love you. Hope you're enjoying it. I know that this is last time we got a thirsty game on. Everyone was very excited.
Oh shit.
Oh shit, it's me? Oh yeah. Oh, that's the booty. She really throws it back.
I'm just staring in disbelief.
Ah, too late. Ah, she's so sad, this bear. Kenzie, I mean, that's what we're doing today. You're definitely welcome to. It might be a little early. It's pretty early for me to be start. You won? Ah, fuck. But I was throwing it back so good. I don't get any credit for style. I thought I was gonna get more credit for the style, for throwing it back so hard. Thank you, Gigi.
Oh.
Should we change the game title to "Is this even allowed?" 18 plus. Do I need to get a kiddie pool?
Jeff Bezos sends me an email? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Hold on, wait a second. I just hold on. Hold on.
Okay, I think your replay's coming up. Also, hi Apple, by the way. I saw you in chat. Okay, here you go. Why does it play like, you know that like Peter Griffin being followed with like a trombone? Why does it play like dun 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 when Kuma comes on?
That's a good question. I need to hold on. I'm sorry. I'm just in the middle of doing something really important. And that is that I need to get a kiddie pool in here, or else we might get banned.
Oh, true.
So. Oh wow. Oh my god. I can't even look at that. If I look at that, I'm screwed. Okay, let's see here. I have to focus.
It's even funnier because you knew nothing about this game going into it.
I knew nothing about it, but you knew that it was
I sent you a
work.
couple of screenshots, and I said,
I saw the one screenshot and said, "Yeah, let's go." Okay, so I have to just get this image in here, or else we're gonna get in trouble. Let me just give me 1 second here. Okay.
And I just need to tab out to see what you're doing.
Okay, hold on.
What?
Kitty.
What are you doing?
I'm doing something important. Don't worry about it. Okay, we're gonna just. Okay, now we can't get in trouble with Twitch.
Oh no, we already did this one. No play.
Oops.
Quick draw a pie. Let's do that one. Alright, let me see what you're doing. What are you up to? Oh, right. This is the third streamer we're bringing in?
Yeah, this is our kiddie pool. So Twitch, just if you see this, I can make it small. Twitch, if you see this stream and you think that the outfits of these cuties are too revealing, we do have this little kiddie pool here, this little pool, and so they're actually going to be swimming in it. So
no, we are.
We're going to be swimming in this pool later.
It's just in the background. Okay, this one you have to throw a pie at me on go.
I have to what? I have to throw a pie?
Yeah, go. It would say 3, 2, 1, but it would like trick you. And when it says go, you have to like throw.
Okay.
Whatever you use for circle to throw. Hey, we know them. They were doing
love
the road.
those. They're like little. Are they salamanders? Kuma. Oh my god, Kuma. Fuck. I have to change characters. Oh shit, Kuma got creamed.
Oh shit.
Oh my god, okay. You can do that again if you want. Wow, the way that she just celebrated. Okay. Oh, you got cream Choco.
Oh, fucking hell.
This is a great game.
Snap my
This is a
spine
great
into
game.
place.
I'm really proud of these girls. They really went all out. They really did a good job. Oh, Toko put her posting in that one. Kuma really just got creamed up against the wall. Congratulations, Toko. We're proud of you. Oh, round 4. Oh, no.
Oh, we even got a slow-mo shot for that one.
Oh, that was really... Oh, no. Congrats, Toko. And with the cream on the face, staying on the face is a lot. That's a big touch there. They won't let them clean themselves off. How come, Passion, that they're not allowing these women to take showers and clean themselves and have that dignity? Who's the producer of this? That's the DLC? These producers.
Wow.
Passion, have you ever played Dead or Alive volleyball and those kinds of games?
I have always wanted to.
I remember last time I saw a game for like one of the new ones that was like advertising on the sleeve, like new boob physics. We've revolutionized the ray tracing of titties.
I think they peaked this title.
This is the best. This is truly the best. Oh, welcome in, Evil Queen. Our dear friend is here. We have, we are playing this.
I mean, welcome to this.
Welcome to this. Welcome. They are,
Right. No.
Okay, that was beautiful. So the story is these are animals which have been turned into cuties.
Yes.
And the cuties have to cream each other for... Do we know anything about the lore of if this is like for survival or for fun?
Ooh.
Are they...
I think it's just a challenge for them. Like, I read something. If someone could like pull up, like, it was like an IGN article. There's like no reviews for this game or anything. I also don't know how to go back. Like, I don't know how to go like, back to everything.
Oh, yeah. I think it's A. That's what I pressed before to get back. If you want to change characters.
Yeah. Maybe if we go into a game and then press start. Let's try that.
Okay, let's go.
Yes, I see something on IGN that is a way to put
Yeah,
it.
they I don't know if I think that. So this
Did you
is
want to
just.
do? You didn't do this last time, so
Oh, I
let's
didn't.
just
I didn't properly do
do,
this. Let's
do
go.
one of this. And then we'll go to
we
start.
got it. Kuma has got to win this one. Come on, Kuma. Here we go, Kuma. Show us what you got. Okay.
Ooh.
Well.
We do another one.
Okay.
Ooh. Ooh.
I don't understand how to play this one.
don't get
I
it
truly
either.
don't know how to play this one.
Like, I can sometimes smack your ass, and then sometimes it just doesn't let me. Oh, that didn't even work. How?
Wait, who's doing that? Are you doing that?
Me. I don't know how to exit. Who's doing that? Who'd you think?
I don't know. I don't know who's in control.
Oh, it reset the entire... Okay, that works.
Okay, Mina-san. You ready for a little bit more of sexy Teletubbies?
Versus man.
Okay, we gotta do versus man. I'll be Do you want to be Neko or Coco? Kuma was too much of a woman for me. I couldn't handle her.
Coco.
Okay, I'll be Neko. I'll be
Shout out
Neko-chan.
to Coco LaBouche. You pressed the wrong button again.
Oh my god. This is just one of many embarrassments I'm ready to experience today. Oh, jeez. Oh, Toastery, thank you very much for the gift sub. And Let's Go, thank you very much for the resub. Love to have you here. I'm Neko-chan. Konbanwa. Watashi no namae wa Neko-chan. That means I'm a cat. My name. Okay, so wait, Coco. So I don't understand. So Kuma and Neko are bear and cat. So these two came from a bear and a cat. But I don't know what Toki and. Oh my God, Sage! Thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. Thank you so much, Sage. And if you got a gift sub from Sage, please say thank you. Classic W for Sage.
There are a couple ones that I seemingly think we have to like unlock.
Got it.
But what I'm thinking is we could maybe do like one solo round each, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I think I can set that up.
Whatever you want to do. This is go rolling. I love to.
Yeah.
I love to do that. I
think
love to
there's a couple
go
that we can't do unless we
rolling.
do solos. So maybe we can like take in turns each or something.
Eve, this is real life. It wasn't real life before. You're back. You're actually very sober right now. This is what it's like to be sober. Nico.
Oh, she's clumsy. Oh, I love when that green shows.
Okay, what am I doing?
Oh, what? Oh, we're like spinning the.
Oh, this is just. Is
Other
this
way, other
just,
way, other way.
Other way?
Oh shit!
Oh
Ooh.
wow! Oh god! Oh my god!
Now back down. Oh, I see. We're
I
like
forgot
spamming.
I'm Neko. Oh shit. Okay, this is just the Mario Party, the one that ruins your hand. Oh god, I broke my controller. Oh no.
Yeah, my knob is falling off.
Oh god. The close-up on the face is great.
Who is that girl stuck in the time?
Yeah, who's stuck in the clock there?
Oh, that's a word. Not time.
Oh no, my knob is falling off. Oh jeez.
I think I might have just ruined my controller. The like my flap skin is like hanging off.
All right. Well, we just broke our hands and our controllers. So I think we have to do another game now.
New thing we got to put on throne.
What happened?
Replace the controllers that the girl was broke.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, nothing. I was just playing with my little controller flap thing.
I don't know how I feel about Neko being so
Oh,
in
that
this
was when you
thirsty
didn't know
game.
what to do. Huh.
Look. Okay, chat. Neko is okay. Neko is an adult woman, right?
I'm pretty sure they're all adults.
I
They're
hope
animals.
so. Okay, good.
So
Because you don't know
It's
with
just-
Japan.
you're furry.
With
If you're a
Japan,
cat,
you
then
don't know.
You're furry.
And I'm just concerned about putting that on my channel if that's, you know. There is a period, you know, it could happen. There's a space for that in Japanese PlayStation games but I think they're adults. They are adults. They are adults.
Oh, no. Did you press that? Who pressed that?
Leave me alone, I'm scared. Thank you for the Maddie Healy moment in the chat. Thank you. Thank you for the Maddie Healy moment in the chat.
Zach manifested this.
Cosmic Roach, exactly. That's what I was thinking, is that there's of course, you know, that was my first my first instinct was this is an adult petite woman, but I've remembered it's Japan and anything can happen.
I'm just gonna check if there's cheat codes for this.
I'm pretty sure there was a button you pressed earlier that brought up cheat codes. Full Metal Pickle, thank you very much for the resub.
We've done all of these. That's
We've
why
done
I'm
all of them.
asking.
I got it. Okay, well, while you look for that, I think we're about ready for a toilet potty break. So I'm going to kick us all over there.
Okay.
And all of you, thank you very much for coming around. Marit, thank you very much for the satanic, the satanic plus chat. I mean cheer. My head's not all here today, and I'm drinking. This is gonna be exciting. And what is this?
Oh no, I'm pausing it. Don't worry.
Okay.
It's working.
We are going to go to a quick toilet potty break. Thank you everyone for being here, and I'll see you very soon. Hello everybody, and welcome back. I hope you're having something nice to sip. I have just gathered my tea. Shout out to New Jersey Garden State Bar. It's getting chroma keyed. And cheers, Passion. It is such an honor to have you on the channel. Can we touch our glasses or no?
Yes, my lipstick stained glass will be touching yours. You can literally see it on the glass.
That's perfect. That looks great. I thoroughly recommend you all treat this Saturday evening stream as we are. Because this is, I can already feel this is getting loose. If you've been here for our tipsy streams before,
we get pretty loose.
We're getting real loose.
So I want to bring up, because someone said that this game makes them a bit uncomfortable as a woman. I completely understand. I get it. You know, overtly sexualization of women in video games, especially in the 2000s, was at its like fucking peak.
Oh yeah.
So I completely understand any discomfort. If anybody wants to hop out during a stream, feel free to do so. We'll come back in like an hour when we're doing something else.
Yeah, we're gonna be playing other.
We just know we're analyzing it from a sake of like campness, and it's not. You know, it's honestly not as deep and as serious as the game may be approaching. Like the way that it was made, it was obviously made to please men. But
yeah,
you know, as a trans woman and as Miles being Miles, it's like, you know, we're not taking it as seriously. We're not sitting here like gross men would be, and we're just enjoying it from a camp sake.
It's very camp. I mean, it's one of the things that I love about the anime that I like is I find it hilarious, like Food Wars and some of these anime that are just so over the top in their sexualization. But like to the point where it's just so absurd that it's one of my favorite genres of comedy, really, right? Like, yeah. I mean, obviously it has some real world impacts and things that are troubling, but
I get the discomfort though, believe me.
Of course, yeah. But I think there's a way also to look at these with a lot of laughter. That's what we're trying to do today.
There's probably a reason this game was Japan only as well, and you know, it's very niche and why everyone's just like, well, the fuck is this game? Because there's a good reason why you've never heard of it.
Yeah.
Now back to the real pussy.
And here is that pussy. Hey there. Hey there. Let's say hi to Passion.
Nope. Hello, Mr. Bingus.
Okay,
goodbye, Mr. Bingus.
Gone. Okay, but Bingy's gone. But yeah. And so yeah, very understandable if you're at that. But that being said, should we watch some more women who were turned into women from the animals that they... What's the lore? They were animals.
Animals turned like into women who
was
then
there a horny professor
made to compete. Maybe. I think the professor, if I'm correct reading the lore, I'm pretty sure the professor was a woman too.
Okay, well, you know. There you go. She could also be
the lesbian furries.
Yeah, she could. You know. Thank you for the ghost sip.
I'm assuming that means water.
Thank you for the sip. I'm drinking my tea on the sips, but shout out Famous Grouse. Thank you very much for providing the game key for Super Godelic Hour. Galdelic hour. Thank you, famous grouse. You're my favorite.
Does yours look different? No. It's a color correction.
It's just the color correction. Actually, wait, no, wait. I know it's pretty much the same.
Yeah, it's the same.
Wow.
Whose cock is bigger? All right, moving on.
Cheers, Passion. Love you, Passion. Very happy to have you on the channel. Let's vibe. Let's rock. Let's see whose cock is bigger. Here we go. Okay.
Okay. I switched it during the BRB, so Miles will be controlling this one solo for this round, just so that we
This
get
is
like a
me.
little bit of
This is me.
variation with the characters and everything else. So, this just be solo Miles for this one, but I shall be engaging with the hashtag chat.
Okie dokie. Let's rock. I'm the captain now.
Cool, there you go.
Okay.
You can skip this, by the way.
I can? Do I
Yeah.
have to?
Sure, cool.
I can't skip it.
Start?
Oh,
There you
no,
go.
now I can. Okay. Whoops. Look, we have the kiddie pool, so if you have a problem with this Twitch, this is not against TOS, okay? We have the little thing.
The music for this was impeccable.
It is very good. It reminds me.
So you just want this one.
Okay, I just want that. Okay. Oh, I'm not ready. Passion, I'm not ready.
And this is how you pick your character.
All the music is so good.
Wow. It's nice to see Charisse represented in these games, though.
Is that the doctor? Is Charisse the doctor?
I think that is the doctor. So this is how you're just picking whoever you
I
want.
see. Okay, so who should I be? So that's a fox. That's Coco the fox.
Yeah, these are the animals that they wear.
Kuma the bear. I don't know what that's supposed to be.
A rabbit?
I guess. Oh, well, who should I play? Chat loves Coco. Fuck. Who should I play, chat? Let's,
Are you polling this?
should I not?
No, do it.
That's what I was gonna do.
Engagement.
Who should I... Which sexy Teletubby should I be? And then we're gonna do... Green... Yellow...
Yeah, don't show your passport.
Oh my god, I forgot that this is on my real... I was doxing myself? Look at this. Look at this. You can see the behind the scenes now, chat, because I'm... No, we're not supposed to see my browser, alright?
Oh. Not me fully joking and then realizing.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, nothing on this monitor, nothing on this monitor.
Oops.
Also...
I know
the
you saw
fact
me
that
Google
we're-
the kiddie pool too, Johnny. I realized. I fucked up, okay?
Oh,
It's
shit.
not on purpose.
Well, at least this is easy for if we want to do
what
YouTube later.
yeah, like, look, here's what you... What are you seeing? You're seeing that I have a tab open to Soul Jazz Records. You see that I have a bookmark of Dolly 2. You see that I have a bookmark to this chat poll. And much more embarrassingly, you can see that I have a bookmark.
Why is my merch bookmarked?
What? What did you say?
Why isn't my merch bookmarked?
Why isn't your merch bookmarked?
Why did you go up here?
I should do
Why did
that.
your voice go all the way up here?
It was a mistake. I didn't do it on purpose. It happens sometimes, Passion. You have to forgive me.
Sorry.
I don't know. Look, I'm two 12-year-olds in a trench coat, and I keep convincing everyone I'm an adult, and this is what happens. I very embarrassingly also have a tab, a bookmark tab, for the January football transfer window in the English Premier League. I'm so sorry, Passion. I'm so sorry.
Can you just Do you a downpo?
I'm doing the poll.
Do you have the overlay on this scene?
Huh? I do have the.
Do you have?
Oh, I don't think I do. Wait, I can add it real quick
Yeah.
though. It's green, yellow, purple, and pink. Okay, and then I pull up the overlay. The overlay is.
I keep seeing that Britney post on IG and fully keep thinking it's a pow pow.
I know. It really. I'm very
It keeps coming
jealous
up
that
as the
she
first
managed
thing.
to steal my aesthetic. Which Teletubby should I be, chat?
Hang on. There you go.
Tyler, that was years ago. When I was 10. That was years ago. That was like, when was that?
What
December? It was like last week. Tyler's just saying that I don't have my story straight. All right, so this is green. This is Kuma. I have a big surprise for halfway through this stream, by the way, Passion. Something just no, well, for everyone.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Now I need to get you a surprise. That's just for you. I'm so disappointed. Okay, chat is resoundingly supporting the green Teletubby. Oops, no, get out of here. No.
It's like the green M&M.
The desktop capture is dangerous. The display capture. Okay, green.
We didn't intend on doing desktop capture. It was the only way that we could.
I know, it's the only way we could do this. Okay, green.
Again, this is a PS2 game from 2001. The fact that we're magically able to play this together, local co-op.
This really is something. It's really unbelievable.
Magic.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Oh,
No.
Goodbye.
Wait, what did I do? Wait, oh fuck. I'm gonna... Okay.
That almost says Cocomelon. Kinda. If you squint.
Okay, so she's... Chat, do we like green?
I like green.
You like Coco? She's pretty fine.
She's tall. Ooh. Okay.
Okay, go play. Rope
you got this
jumping.
one.
So
Go
wait, so
play
okay,
go.
so this is just me?
Yeah.
Okay. Passion, I miss having you in the game.
I'm like
though.
Smokey though. I'm like Smokey in this
You're
situation.
being smoky? Thank you. Thank you for being smoky. Okay, I'm gonna nail this. Oh my gosh, they have the little didgeridoo track too. This game's gonna get canceled for so many reasons.
Okay. So she got 20. Now you're next. Oh, she's tired.
She's so sleepy. Coco-chan, ikimashouka!
Okay, work.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Huh?
That throws me off.
Huh? Oh, fuck. That was so embarrassing. I'm so sorry.
You did really well.
I didn't
You did really well there.
do well.
No, you did. You have another chance though, so it's okay.
Now, do we think it's gonna be like the best round, or is it gonna be combined? Oh, 41 is the one
Combined.
to beat, huh? So the excellent just makes you zoom in. There's no like benefit to that, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Presumably. So you can play it safe. Unless you want a bit of tit in your eye.
I mean, I think we all do a little bit every now and then. But I don't. Oh jeez. Oh god.
Ooh.
This
you got way ahead
something
of
something
yourself.
jumped in front of me. Sorry, there was a little.
Is it a tit?
There was just a little tit in front of me. I had to get it away from here. I gotta get the eye tracker. I lost. I can't. This is so embarrassing. I can't. This is a game for horny men, and I
You can
failed.
press X or whatever the equivalent is.
This is a game that's designed to be able to play with one hand, and I lost with both hands, and I feel like a silly idiot.
But genuinely, if you like this game, you would fuck heavy with Space Channel 5.
I know. I have to. Well, do you want to do that now?
I don't have it. On hand.
Okay. All right.
It's
I
also
gotta
not
get it.
multiplayer, it's single player.
Okay. So let me try this again, I guess.
Oh, you got this one. Squirting contest.
Okay, so chat said something about I should try playing with one hand. I'm gonna keep this one here, but I'm just...
Remember to throw it on go. Go!
I didn't click back into the game. I'm sorry. Okay. Fuck you, Neko. I'm gonna get you. I'm showing you my hand. Oh, fuck.
There's something funny to me about Charisse removing someone's comment that's a sound command in my chat. Maybe I am the disgusting one here. Go.
Oh my god, I'm getting wrecked. Is it not the circle button? Fernie, you've missed a lot, Fernie. Welcome in, Fernelli. We're playing this. I just got creamed all over.
Hi,
Look
Fern.
at that. It's terrible. Fernelli, you missed a lot. We're playing this really horny game from the early 2000s. This very wholesome, very, very wholesome.
It's like we call it sexy Teletubbies, but it's really like, I don't know, like Yassified Teletubbies. Oh, I like that song. Oh, why'd you skip it?
Oh.
Feed me.
Okay. Is this gonna... Okay, I'm gonna lose again. I don't know why. I'm just so bad at this game. Do you think... Okay, hip sumo wrestling. I think that I have a leg up here. Coco has a leg up.
Oh. I haven't had a leg up in a while.
Okay, let's see if... Okay. Ah.
Ooh,
oh, jeez, I got wrecked.
I like its tail.
It's very cute. Ada, Ada. Oh my god.
Try pushing towards her when you're about to fall off.
That's what I did. I swear I'm trying to play the game.
You stink!
Thank you. Thank you very much for that gesture.
What was that?
I'm getting wrecked in this game.
What was boo?
The boo was for... oh, you didn't hear it. It said boo, you stink. Neko keeps sweeping me, and I'm embarrassed, Passion. It's one thing to lose to you, but to lose to the NPC...
I know one thing to lose to me.
Well, no, that's because...
I don't win very often in games.
But I'm saying to lose to you is great, because you are a gamer, you game. I feel like I'm half the gamer that you are. And so when I lose to you, it's like, that makes sense. But when I lose to the computer, I just feel like I'm missing something.
Sure.
Super Godelic Hours, a very hard game to play and win.
Oh, you got this one.
I don't know that I do. It's gonna wreck my knob. No. The knob on my controller. Fuck me.
You're not in England, it's fine.
Come on. I'm gonna wreck my knob. Oh, come on. Gotta twist that knob. Twist that knob. Twist that knob. Gotta twist it, twist it, twist it. It helps. What helps is if you just gotta do this, and you gotta.
Okay, you're actually doing good.
You just gotta kind of make circular motions. Circular motions.
Ooh. What is with that jump scare? Okay. Slade. You kind of ate that novel up.
That was fun. I was good at that. I was good at doing this part. I can do that part.
Yeah.
I'm not good at the other ones where you gotta hit people with the cream.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't very good at that one. But that's okay. Should we Pash, do you want to move on to some? Oh, you got the gloves on. Fantastic.
Yeah. Shout out to Benefit for these. Thank you. These are my,
Those
the
are
little
gorge.
phenomena. Do. They remind me of those.
The
little pink Muppet girl.
Pash, do you want to play together again, or do you want to move on to something else now that we've seen all these?
Move on to something else.
We can move on to something else.
Yeah.